Thank you for listening and welcome to the Life Podcast, a proud member of the Eventide Entertainment Podcast Network. I'm your host, Don Smith. Ranson Carr is in as guest co-host, and we welcome Dan Dean back from his tour in Kuwait. Keith Irvin sticks around to keep things in order as Dan makes some serious accusations. If you enjoy the show, like and follow the Life 1069 on Facebook and Don Smith Comedy on Twitter, or tune in live on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can stream the show live at WWSU1069.org.
The brutal presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with guest co-host for the week, Ranson Carr. Keith Irvin's decided to stick around, and we welcome back from his world tour, Dan Dean.
What is happening, Don?
We have missed you around here. We really have.
I mean, what is happening here? You get Ranson on the whole 2 hours, but Keith and I only get an hour apiece. So, like, he's holding the black man down over here.
2%, I'm telling you.
He's still here.
An hour.
Hey, Don, let me ask you a question.
There's a certain percentage.
Clearly.
That's why I invited Keith to stick around, because I remembered you were only 2%. So we stayed within range.
Did you get a Christmas card from Dan Dean?
Ed John called in twice.
This needs to be addressed. Did you get a Christmas card from Dan Dean?
I did not.
I didn't either.
Yeah.
Listen.
And I was hurt.
I was very hurt.
There are only a certain number of Christmas cards I can send out. Keith, did you get a Christmas card?
Yes, sir. I surely
of course
did.
he did.
I take care of the brothers.
Of course he did.
And the family did
Reverse
too. They
racism. I
appreciate
see
you.
what's up.
Yep.
Okay.
Man, I tell you. I'm gonna have to get one of those DNA tests.
Yeah.
Done, just to see.
Dan's got Irish. He's black. He's white. He's a soldier. He's dabbing in everything.
Yes.
Like, he literally is just.
I've heard he's tried comedy before too.
We
I'll
are
get
the
there
world
one
of
day.
comedy.
So, is that your phone still
No.
doing that?
You know it is. That's your
Man.
co-host.
Shut up, Keith.
My co-host, every time his phone does that, I'm thinking he's farting over there because it
Maybe.
vibrates this whole table.
Maybe he is. Apparently, that's a thing that's been happening in here a lot.
Well, yeah, Keith had to run over the couch to take care.
Yeah, he had to move over by me.
Well, yeah. So how was the Middle East? How was the comedy scene over there? More importantly,
We talked about this before. It was a good time over there. I ran that mic over there, full house just about every time we went in there. It's different when you're on a military base. Everybody's kind of trapped. They don't have anything else to do. Kind
Yeah,
of
it's a
starved
captive
for
audience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
captive audience. So they just come out and watch some comedy.
cool. Well, it's good to have you back in the States. We were all concerned that we actually had a discussion. I can't remember who about you coming back without legs or something. I can't even remember what it was, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah, still be taller than Wendy
because
Ferguson.
because we were talking about Gary Henry having to carry both you and Wendy on stage with
I
him.
can hang on his back, and Wendy can go on the front, balance him out a little bit there.
Yeah. Is that was that's what we were. I won't say hoping for, but that's something. If we saw Gary carrying both of you up there, we probably wouldn't. We wouldn't have hated it. It would have been
Nobody
pretty fun.
would have. That would have been.
Were you stationed in like Arizona or something like that?
Yeah.
I was wondering how you had Facebook so much.
I might as well have been. It was like a vacation resort over there where I was for most of the time. I was up in Iraq for a minute, and that wasn't so great. But yeah, we had basically all the amenities at home. The only thing that I didn't really have, I couldn't see GIFs on my phone. Or GIFs, however you want to pronounce that.
Right.
There was a large discussion about this, and it's GIF, for sure. I couldn't see those on my phone, and I couldn't see Facebook videos. And so I couldn't see Facebook Live videos and people post videos of whatever. I couldn't see those. Those were, for some reason, blocked on
Oh, they were
Facebook
blocked, so it wasn't like a bandwidth issue. It was just
Right.
blocked from
Right.
on base.
Right. Well,
Or just in general.
on the computers that we used. If I got on my phone, if I was able to find a Wi-Fi connection, which they were few and far between, if I was able to do that, I could see them on my phone, but not on the computers that we were able.
Trump
to use.
wouldn't allow it.
Right. Well, yeah, you can't have. Can't You can pull that microphone closer because we're barely picking you up. So I have to keep adjusting everything.
I don't like the phallic symbols being too close to my mouth.
But you were going to town on that lollipop when you came in.
I didn't say I don't have an oral fixation.
Just not quite as big as the microphone. I got you.
Right. Right.
So you're out, Keith. D strong, not for Dan.
Be strong.
They're right back at it again.
Right back on it.
So what are your plans now that you're home? Are you because you still have the podcast going?
Yep.
I wish I was laughing.
Yep. Need to get with my PIC, my partner in comedy, and set up some times to do some recording on that. Get Midget Radio back in action going on there. I'm trying to hit up as many shows as I can, open mics, showcases, whatever I can get on, radio shows, podcasts, just trying to get back in the swing,
Comedy
to get back
ain't
in the
easy.
scene.
Yep, there you go.
Yeah, well, I tried to do that, but Keith's been blowing me off,
He does
He's
that.
been
He
back
does
2
that.
days.
Yeah,
been
but
trying to get on his show, and he's been blowing me
we've
off.
known each other for like 2 years before I even started doing comedy, and I still can't get on his show. So
I've done it 7 times.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just kidding.
yeah, I think you were on one of the first ones.
I was.
Well, when
yeah.
it keeps showing
I
up
think it was
at
the
my
second
door, like that's the only way I can get him to get out of my kitchen.
Yeah,
That's true. I'm
That's
trying to
true.
get his meatballs. So
Yeah. Well, that's in his garage, though.
Yeah,
Oh
it's
no,
so
no,
weird.
you don't cook your balls in the garage.
No, I'm strictly kitchen
You're a
balls.
kid. Strictly.
D strong
we have a title
meatballs.
for the show now.
Oh, Lord.
Kitchen.
But
balls.
Dan, I am going to get you on there, brother.
Oh, yeah.
As long as you
find a
bring
date.
Wendy,
Right,
then you can
right.
be on the show.
As per usual. Story of my life.
Oh god.
Hey, Dan, we'd love to have you on the show. Can you bring Wendy?
It's good to have you on the show, just as you though.
Yeah, did you bring
Instead of
Wendy?
did you? We didn't see her.
We
did
love that you're here.
That's
Did you bring
why I
Wendy?
stuck around.
Yeah, I've been having to ease myself back into my midget handling duties. Gary Henry tried to take
I
over
was
that.
going to
and
say,
Yeah,
was
he did.
Gary ready to relinquish that duty?
yeah, he tried to just step in like he's just been doing it his whole life. All of a sudden, I'm like, hey, guy, time out
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I'm back.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
but
I'm back. This
yeah.
is my job.
Well, yeah, you can't
I'm the
beat an
midget
original.
handler. Right.
That's what because you were the original midget handler.
Guys
Yeah.
trying to step in,
How
take
dare
over
him.
for me. That's not.
It's not
Yeah,
how
you-
that works.
You
Not
got to
kosher.
watch that now. As far as the I Wish I Was Laughing comedy shows, you've had somebody else
Yep.
running those when you were out. Are they relinquishing duties? Or are you just kicking everybody out?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
gone
awesome,
for
good.
Now,
Right,
so
Daddy's home.
Joe Young has been doing those shows for me, and he's been doing a great job. So I'm trying to keep him on as many as I can when I book some shows, trying to get him some more exposure, some more stage time, get him paid a little bit,
Yeah,
do
there
some
you go.
hosting. But there's been a few conflicts with his schedule right now, so he's on some, he's not on some. But I don't forget the little people. Once I'm not just gonna
Yeah.
blow
That's
him
the
off
first time I've
completely.
heard you say little people. Usually,
Yeah.
Well,
usually you
Joe's not a midget. He's more like a cancer patient.
Yeah.
Just-
Well, I think we had an episode where we were talking about him in comparison with Gollum from the Lord of the Rings.
yeah, that's absolutely right.
I feel like you should just handle all this with violence. I feel like that way people know where you're coming from.
What's he
Just
handling
take
with
them all
violence?
out.
Just take his shows back, take his
just
midget back.
violently, just
Violently.
a violent takeover.
Yeah, I picked up
Yeah.
a shillelagh a couple days
I
ago.
saw that. I was
Yeah.
hoping you'd bring it in with you.
I'm going to be carrying that on stage with me from now on to discourage any hecklers.
What's that you say?
Yep, smack
I didn't
him.
hear
You
you.
smack him in
Yeah.
in the face with your shillelagh. That's what.
Yeah,
Good true Irishman. That's what,
Black Irish,
black. Yeah, black. I always
Literally
forget about the 2%.
Black Irish.
always forget about that 2%, right?
Yeah,
And they
it's
never seen
just totally wrong.
Black Panther. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Have you
Crazy.
seen it, Dan?
Absolutely.
Okay, of course.
I mean, I don't know if you saw, but I'm scheduled for the sequel to Black Panther next year.
Yeah, 2% Black
2% Black
Panther.
Panther.
Black Panther 2.0, baby.
Yeah, well, 2.0%. So I don't even know where to go from there.
Thanks for coming in, Dan.
Yeah, thanks for coming in. It's good.
Thanks for having
Glad
me.
to have you back.
It's a good time.
Right.
If you don't have
Good time.
Wendy, you can see yourself out.
Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
It's cool. I've got the show to get to tonight anyway.
Yeah, I guess we'll call Gary next time we want Wendy to come in.
Ouch.
That isn't going to happen. He will find himself with flat tires.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't be messing with you so much because you were training, doing some martial arts training over.
It was.
Yeah.
I've been doing that for several months, and recently found out there's going to be a tournament here in August, so I'm going to get ready for that, and I'm going to take part in that one.
Really? What branch of martial arts, or is it just?
Well, it's the Army branch of martial arts.
Oh, okay.
Modern Army Combatives. It's sort of the Army's version of MMA.
No, so a little bit of everything.
Based in ground fighting, jiu-jitsu, there's some boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, that kind of thing, mixed in
Cool.
there a little bit. Try to make everybody a well-rounded soldier, well-rounded fighter to enhance combat survivability.
Yeah, and save on ammunition. If you,
And handle Facebook.
Ammunition
right,
is
and handle,
always
and
first.
to take your comedy shows back,
Right.
That's right.
and your midget handling duties.
The only thing that would make this even better is if, like, you get Wendy back, and then Gary gets another midget, and he starts toting her around, and like there's this whole epic battle.
Like the whole Hillbilly Jim and King Kong Bundy
Yes,
from
exactly.
1980s.
The two Undertakers, just have the showdown.
Speaking of extra midgets, if you guys didn't know, I do have a show in London on April 24th with the artist formerly known as Hornswoggle from the WWE.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, he and Wendy on there are going to have double the midgets, double the fun on that show.
Wow. Now, what, London, Ohio, I'm assuming?
Yeah, London State Theater.
Because you world tour, so I'm just trying to make
Yeah,
sure
this
that
one's
you're...
we're staying local
Keeping
for
it
this.
local.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. That's good. It's good to have you back in the local scene instead of, it was good to share you with the world for a little while.
The Middle East wasn't quite ready, I don't think.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, that would be...
how did you get your comics there? Were these just guys that wanted to try it, or did you do an open mic?
I did an open mic, and when I got there were a couple guys who had tried some comedy. They'd been doing some open mics back in the States, and they were more than happy to hop on there, and they helped me out with some talent on my first couple of shows. And then with that, we had a couple guys in my unit who wanted to jump in there and give it a try. One guy had done it a couple of times already and decided he was going to use that for him to kind of express himself and relieve a little bit of stress and tension.
Right.
And then a couple other guys watched it. And they were like, you know what? I think I'm going to give this a try. So they came out there.
That's cool.
And they did it. And then there's another guy who came in towards the end who actually worked in one of the comedy clubs down in Alabama. And he was happy also to get a little bit of stage time while he was deployed before he can get back there into his scene. So there was never really a shortage of people who wanted to do comedy, and we made it a true open mic. There were a lot of times we had people on there playing guitar and singing. We had some poetry.
Okay,
in
so you
there.
did like a well-rounded open mic.
Yeah.
Okay,
But most of the time it was mostly, if not all comedy, it was 90% comedy.
right.
Now, did you open it up outside of the base or just on base?
Yeah, just on post.
Just on base, because
It's a
that
huge
would
pain
be
in the
kind
ass
of
to get on
interesting.
and off post just in general without trying to set that
Take a
kind of
show,
thing up.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I don't even know. I mean, I guess I could probably find a spot to do it.
Well, no, I mean bringing people in from
Oh,
Kuwait
I get
to
what
do,
you're saying. Yeah, I don't think that's a thing
looking
there.
for local talent in
Nah,
Kuwait.
I don't think that's a thing there.
Yeah, not a lot of Kuwaiti comics.
Nah.
The greatest thing ever be if Ed
Yeah, if
called
I'm
in again.
trying to go
I
to
can't
Probably
even
listened to the first
impersonate
show.
one.
Yeah, I was listening.
It'd be great if Ed called in as like the Kuwait guy that didn't get stage time because he wasn't on base.
Now you know he's going to do it
Oh,
right.
man, that would have been the greatest call
Just
ever.
wait
Yeah,
for it.
he
Mad
was,
at
he was
Dan.
probably dialing, and now that you gave it
Wait
away, it's
for
like,
it.
oh,
Yeah,
man.
you just gave
I
it.
don't even know if he's listening this time.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so funny.
He's unemployed. He's listening. What else is he gonna do?
He's in the building somewhere, probably.
A comedian, unemployed.
Yeah. Can
What's
you
that you say?
imagine? Now, have you met Ed? Was Ed doing?
No,
shows
I've
with-
never
okay.
met him. He
I
was
wasn't
he
sure.
was on last time when I called in. He was on the show, but
Yeah, yeah.
no, I've
yeah.
never met him in person.
He's a lot of fun. He's allegedly he's called in twice on the show so far.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
It could have been Morgan Freeman.
We think it was Morgan Freeman. We're
Yeah,
hoping.
I was going to say there was never any confirmation on the first. I didn't catch the end of the second one. I caught the Wakandan calling in, but I didn't catch the end of it.
Yeah. So I think we're going to take a little break. I'm going to cue up some music here.
Oh Lord.
I don't think Keith wants any Potter's Field. Are you done with Potter's Field for the show? Or are you?
You know, I was listening to that CD all the way over here. I'd rather get.
You got worn out on it. Okay.
I didn't think you played
Well,
anything
we'll,
with Pottersfield.
What's it? Yeah, we got a couple others.
Got
that
some
you've been,
powdered
yeah.
donuts. I'm hungry.
All right, let's see what we got here. We'll do a little Mr. Stone King. I guess we'll do some You Can Run.
your life is dead.
All right, we are back on the Life Radio Show. I have plenty of reservations about being back on the radio show. I'm your host, Don Smith, sitting in with my guest co-host for the week, Ranson Carr. Keith Irvin sticking around still well into the second hour, still raring to go. And Dan Dean. Dan, I won't be there. Dean is here. He can't say he won't be here. Here he is. It's good to have you back, and it's just all around good.
I know you already said that, Don. You don't need to suck up to me anymore.
Well, you're one of the guys that run shows.
Well, we'll get you on. We'll get you on.
He wants to get
so
booked.
you should be used to this by now. I'm trying to get back into this stuff.
Well, Angie came across a little racist early on, Don. I'm going to be honest with you. You treated Dan like he was under you.
A second-class citizen, yeah.
Yeah, it's just not right.
Are you kidding? I moved Keith for him.
Yeah.
See what we're talking about here?
Yeah. See what you're dealing with.
Oops. Oh,
Ranson's one of the white guys who gets it. You know?
Yeah, I just understand things.
I'm gonna have to go see Black Panther, I guess, just to make up for it.
Such a good movie. I loved it.
So,
Yeah,
Black
right,
Panther
right.
was fine, but there wasn't anything about it that made it any better than any other superhero movie.
See, that's the thing, because Ed John gives me crap for not having seen it, and I'm not a fan of superhero movies. I haven't seen any of the new. I haven't seen any Spider-Man. I haven't really seen any of the new Batman. I watched one of them and was like, who cares?
If you don't like
I'm not-
superhero movies, you
Right.
won't like that one. Everybody
Right.
keeps talking about how it's the greatest thing ever. It's the best show ever,
Yeah.
best movie ever in Hollywood, and it's not. It's not anything better than any other superhero movie. It's good. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it. I had a good time watching it, but
Two
about you?
words.
You see it, Keith?
2 words. No boobs.
No,
know? you know,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that's a movie Don's going to like then.
I said no.
He said no,
Oh, sorry.
not 3.
Sorry. Misunderstanding.
were you a total
Well, yeah,
recall
I seen
guy?
it. I
What's
watched.
that?
You a total
Yeah,
recall
exactly. That's a great. Yeah, that's the thing. I've never really seen any of the comic book or any of the superhero movies. Never been all that thrilling for me. So
I mean, I love them. I love all of them, and I love Black Panther too. It's just, it's not everybody was making it out to be so much more than it was.
They hyped it up a lot. Yeah.
My thing.
you
I
have
wasn't
to-
impressed. I'm not gonna lie. It was all right. I slept a lot. Of course.
you slept through it. Is that?
Some of it, yes, I did. I'm not gonna lie. I went to that new theater they've got over there in Westchester.
Oh,
where
they got the
serve you
reclining
like come out
chairs.
and they give you. Dude, I put that recliner back, and I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was at home.
Those theaters are conducive for a very relaxing
Ooh.
evening, enjoyable.
Yeah, so I am gonna have to watch it again, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't see the hype for it.
I mean, I may see it sometime when it comes out on Netflix.
Oh, yeah,
or
you can watch it on
wherever.
Netflix.
I'll
You can
give
watch
a
it at home.
but-
I understand.
But I in the privacy of my own home, so my neighbors up there, they don't think watching this,
I'm fine with that. Just don't let me hear anything about you going to see any of those white superheroes in a theater.
No, I wouldn't.
That's, as long as
Yeah,
they're
we're
even
watching
about
it.
it.
white
It's-
superheroes in their capes, Don.
Right.
We will
I
call
want to
you
hear
out.
about that.
I think it's the tidy whitey that he likes with the superheroes.
They really turned on you, didn't they?
Man,
Yeah, get them, guys.
this is rough.
Don's terrible.
I think it's time for some news stories. 2 men have been arrested after 1 kilogram of cocaine was found in a pair of fake buttocks at a Lisbon airport. A Brazilian man carrying 2 cushion-like implants, which were attached to a pair of swimming trunks, was detained by Portugal's anti-narcotics agency. Later, another man was arrested at a train station under suspicion of being due to receive the drugs. It's not yet clear how police discovered the haul. My guess would be patting butts would be how they discovered it. It's a little lumpy on this side.
So a whole bunch of crack cocaine, huh?
Yep, exactly.
Nice.
See what you did there. Good job.
The cocaine stashed in the fake buttocks was equivalent to at least 5,000 individual portions of the drugs, police said. So the police know. I mean, are they talking their individual portions? Is that just how they decided to divide it up?
Is this a
Where was
black
it?
booty,
Brazil?
a white booty?
Portugal.
Portugal, yeah.
Lisbon.
I mean, all they had to do was give the cops some of them, and I'm sure they could have gotten away with it.
Yeah, apparently drug possession and use is decriminalized in Portugal, but drug trafficking may incur prison sentences of up to 12 years. So they can use it. They could have snorted the 1 kilo of cocaine, but they couldn't transport it.
I think that's kind of what they're getting into here in the States, too. I mean, with making marijuana legal, they're going to have a lot more of that issue on their hands here.
Yeah.
Transport it in your nose. That's the only way to do it.
Yeah. It's hard to fit a whole kilo up there, though.
Give it a shot.
I've heard it's hard to do. But I think we should decriminalize all of it. Just whoever doesn't make it.
You could probably transport a kilo in your beard.
Don't give my secrets away, Dan.
I'm just saying.
Now I might as well shave it off now.
Uh-oh. We've seen them shaved.
Yeah, it's not pretty. Aaron Phillips recently shaved too. Kind of looks, after seeing him with the beard for so long.
Right.
That's somebody that should have been John Belushi in the Dead Comics show. About a week after an 11-year-old boy scraped his elbow while playing in a tidal pool on the California beach, pediatricians treating him for the resulting abscesses removed a small, hard object and were surprised to discover a live checkered periwinkle marine snail, according to United Press International. Dr. Albert Cate and his colleagues at Loma Linda University wrote in a case report that the snail's egg had apparently become embedded in the boy's skin when he scraped it. The mollusk later hatched inside the abscess. So they said the boys took the snail home as a pet, but it didn't survive living outside its former home. What are you looking at? What are you looking at me like that for? You got nothing on the snail and the kid's abscess. Yeah.
How big was it after they removed it?
I don't know. He took it home as a pet, but it's just really hard to say how big it was.
It was big enough to eat. Escargot isn't too bad.
Yep, abscess escargot.
Definitely had some attachment issues with that one, didn't he?
Yep, yeah.
I mean, it was in his body once. You might as well put it back in his body. Saute it a little bit.
Exactly. That's what he was trying to do before. Eat elbow snail. Oh, it's a delicacy. A new Oregon travel video seems to suggest that a visit to the Beaver State is more like a psychedelic acid trip. The anime-style video shows children riding giant rabbits, frogs reading newspapers, and caterpillars bicycling through the forest. And the clouds look like humpback whales. The video is part of a $5 million campaign to boost state tourism, according to Travel Oregon Director Global Communications Lene Gagliano, which if your name's Gagliano, you might as well try to get people to your state. I don't know what that means. We felt the only way
Apparently
to convey the
racist
incredible...
against Italian people, too.
What's that?
Apparently you're racist against Italian people, too.
This is a rough crowd. Anyway, the video time. I'm done. We're done with that one. Let's move on. Thanks, Dan. You ruined it.
Well, I was going to say Gagliano. That sounds like my ex-wife.
Yeah. How is that racist? I was just talking about the name Gagliano.
Right. You were saying how bad it was. She has to get people there because she's named that.
No, it's just what else would you do with that name?
Oh, yeah. Way to spin it.
What are you doing with that? What? It's not like it's Dan Dean or something. Jeez.
Not everybody's blessed with a natural stage name, such as myself.
That's true. The alliteration makes it worthwhile. The city of Miami Beach shut down a nightclub on Friday after video surfaced showing a woman in a bikini riding a spooked horse into the crowd of people. The incident happened at the Mokai Lounge sometime between Wednesday evening and early morning hours of Thursday. Attendees at the event recorded the commotion and posted footage on social media. One video showed a man trying to pull the seemingly resistant horse into the club as a man and woman ride on top of the animal. The second video shows a woman on a horse amid a tightly packed group of people. The horse throws the woman off before slowly walking through the crowd as people cheer.
Slowly, like the horse threw her off and then strutted away.
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
said, "Yep, take that."
And everybody cheered.
And everybody cheered because that was apparently the highlight of the evening, was somebody in a bikini getting thrown from a horse.
Then the horse walked up to the bar, and the bartender said,
That's why the long face. Exactly. Oh, that's we've hit a stall. I'm afraid to do any news stories because Dan has a problem with all of them.
Yes. I don't think it's necessarily the news stories. It's your racism, Don.
Oh, okay.
Pretty blatant today during the radio show.
And where are you from?
Exactly.
I'm from West Carrollton.
Yeah.
The mean streets of West
Vandalia.
The mean
Vandalia.
You're from Vandalia, is what I heard.
he's Serbian. What do you feel about the Serbs, Don?
Let me tell you, Dan. Great people. Every one of them. Fantastic people.
Way to recover.
What's that?
It's a way to recover.
No, there is no way to recover here. It's just we're done. See, I got to find news stories that Dan won't be upset with. It's enough to make anyone go nuts. Finding a bloody tooth in a bag of cashews. That's what a woman in Ravenna, Ohio, claimed happened one night last month while she was munching cashews as she drove her car with her mom. Nicolette Botsford said she suddenly felt something hard in her mouth.
I bet she did.
Yeah.
D Strong Productions.
She had a nuts. What does she expect? She's holding a bag of nuts and to find something hard in her mouth. What does she think is going to happen?
Yep, that's yeah. Okay. See, that's why I paused after. She said she picked out the hard piece and gave it to her mother, because why not? Who turned the interior light on to examine it. The two were shocked to see what appeared to be a human tooth. She said, "I got very upset. I was crying. I threw up 2 or 3 times." Hospital confirmed the object was a human tooth, Botsford said, and noted a spot of dried blood on it. And there's something I want to point out. I highlighted the spot in here because when I go through these news articles, there are some that have hyperlinked to other things when when they hyperlink to things relating to that phrase. And for some reason, the phrase "I threw up 2 or 3 times" had a hyperlink. And I didn't want to click on it.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good idea.
But I'm just wondering, I could see like the news station being hyperlinked, but why hyperlink "I threw up 2 or 3 times"?
Right.
It's very specific.
Especially if it like goes off keywords like hard nuts.
Right, right. Well, yeah, all
up.
those were hyperlinked from on my computer at home. But but I was just wondering why the hyperlink on "I threw up 2 or 3 times."
Right.
Did you click on it?
I was afraid to click on it, actually.
But did you?
I did not. I did not. That's why I'm asking.
I'm interested to see what comes up when you go to that hyperlink.
Yeah, I should have. But I wasn't feeling brave, and I was at work. So this was.
We don't click out.
Yeah, there's some hyperlinks you don't click on when you're on a company computer.
So I'm assuming this lady is going to sue the nut company.
She's gonna sue their nuts off, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And she's going to win either way. If she wins, she's going to get a good settlement from them, and if not, at least she'll get something from the Tooth Fairy.
There you go. The first thing I'd do is I guess you have a choice whether you
2% back, baby.
Yeah. What do you do in that situation? Do you wait for the Tooth Fairy, or do you, because you'd lose the evidence?
Yeah, I think you have to do the Tooth Fairy second.
Yeah, if the lawsuit falls through, then see if you can get it back out of evidence.
Right.
And do you get to take evidence back?
I don't think so.
After a court case, do you?
Does OJ have the glove? No, because it's part of the investigation.
Well, no, because he had to prove it. Because he had to prove
I didn't mean
it
to look
wasn't
at you
his.
when I asked that.
Why would OJ have the glove? It doesn't fit.
Right.
Why would he
clearly
even want
wasn't
the glove?
his?
He had to prove it wasn't his. He couldn't take it. Can I have my glove back? Would have been a dead giveaway.
Yeah, right. That would have kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have my glove back.
Can I get those leather gloves back?
Goes
I really like those.
They go with my golf clubs.
Yeah. Hey, on topic of that, not the OJ thing, the lady eating the tooth.
Be careful. You don't want to be called racist in here.
Yeah, no, he knows I'm not like you. I had a friend. I had a guy,
get out.
Guy at work. guy I worked with it was eating a Taco Bell one day, and he literally was eating a burrito or something and had a screw in the burrito, and he pulled it out.
I thought he meant he had a screw in Taco Bell.
And so he called them and said, I almost swallowed a screw that was in the burrito, and they never asked for it or anything. Like, they were like, all right, we're going to investigate. They just mailed him a check for like $2,000 or something, and they considered that payment. So when he cashed it, like it was a case settlement.
Right, yeah, he couldn't.
Yeah. Like they never checked or anything. I'm like, I could just like call these Taco Bells all around.
Yeah, you
keep
make a
doing
good living
stand-up.
off of that.
Do what?
You make a good living off of
Yeah,
that.
right.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
No
and then-
Starbucks.
Yeah, you could work
I
on
like
your
him too much.
Starbucks is terrible, dude.
All right, listen.
All right, here we
All
go.
right, you know what, buddy? I know some moves too. Okay, and I'm not afraid to use them.
See, I let him off the hook today with the Starbucks. Get him, Dan.
Their coffee is terrible.
As long as it's not directed at you. I see what you're doing there.
Exactly. I got
Dunkin' Donuts, fine. Tim Hortons, fine. Starbucks tastes like it's burnt.
Tim Hortons
It
is
does.
okay, but it's not as good as it used to be because Burger King bought them. Starbucks is good. It's you know what? It's not good. It's great.
It's
First of all,
it's expensive.
it's expensive.
It's well
Tim,
worth
Tim-
the
Tim
price.
Tim
Right.
Hortons
Second,
is way
if you
better
get
than
something that
Starbucks.
doesn't have coffee in it, it tastes pretty good. I got a pineapple
yeah.
black tea something or another. the
And you
other
make
day.
fun of me for pumpkin spice.
And
Yes,
it was
I do.
it was pretty good. But anything with the coffee,
I
in
can't
it
believe he
just
said that
doesn't-
on the radio.
No matter how much you frou it up, it's not good. It leaves a
Yeah.
weird aftertaste too.
See, he's judging you for frou-frouing it up, even though he just had
No,
a
I
pineapple
mean,
black
I
tea.
listen. I thoroughly enjoy it. I would fight you for it if I have to.
I'll just give it to you.
Exactly.
I don't
Yeah,
want
I just
it.
need everybody to know how serious I am about Starbucks. That's all. That's all.
Man.
That's all.
He did. Well, I seen the video. He walked.
Yeah,
I
he,
did.
He was,
I
he
did.
was
I had
having
to
some
walk-
work done.
I
and
think
he
it was
walked
what?
In the
quite
mean
a
streets of
ways.
Bellbrook.
Yeah.
So you know.
Yeah.
how
I think it
serious
was
I am
like
about
2
this.
Is
blocks.
that where
or
that
something.
came from?
No, this
Is there a
came
Starbucks
from
around here?
this came from Kettering. Yes, there is one right around the corner, actually.
Because when I was overseas, everybody knew there was Starbucks there, and so everybody sent me a whole bunch of Starbucks gift cards, which I couldn't use on base at Starbucks. So I've got like $100 worth of Starbucks gift cards.
I'll give you $50 for them.
All right.
He was going to give them to me until I opened my
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah, well, that basically be half price. That's almost what the coffee's worth.
And I'll take out Gary for you.
You mean like
You got a deal.
you mean like dating?
Of course.
Okay.
What
cool,
else would I
cool.
mean?
They're gonna go see Black Panther.
You're going to get a bag of cashews.
Yeah,
go see
yeah.
Black Panther.
Hope
Yeah,
for the
Be
best.
chewing on some
And,
nuts
and
by the
on
end
the
of the
way
night.
home, they'll screw in a Taco Bell. I think, if that's what I gathered from your story.
I got nothing. Way to go. Way to
Yeah.
spin it back around.
Well, here's the thing: you're a guest co-host, and your job is to take the heat off of me. When I'm being,
I have not done
when
a good
I'm
job
being
of that
attacked,
today.
When I'm being attacked, like I was earlier, it's your job to intervene and take the heat. And
I
you
missed
just,
that part.
You
I'm
have
sorry.
let me down.
I have. But I did there. I picked it back up. And for the record, I would never want to fight Nandine. So. I just tried to sound tough for the radio show.
If you
Yeah,
take
we
Gary out tonight, you guys could go have some steak.
Okay, go on.
I mean, it's March 14th, right? Steak and BJ Day.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that's what it was.
Yeah.
I'm going to email the wife right
Yeah.
now
So you absolutely should. Steak and BJ Day. Have a
because at
medium
least I
rare.
might be able to get a steak.
That's right, yeah. And for all you folks who aren't married out there, you can take advantage of the whole holiday.
Yeah. So that's a whole holiday too.
Yeah, all day.
Sorry.
So does she buy the steak and give the BJ, or do I have to like? At
I
least
think you
buy
can
the-
work it out yourself. I mean, men can give women BJs
Yes.
too. It doesn't have to.
No, I was just talking
No,
about the steak. I don't
Keith,
have
it's
money
more
to
like
buy a
it's
steak.
more like what's a man got to do to get a steak around here?
What do you get for a 3-piece meal? Because I can pick up 2 of them
Yeah.
right now.
That's a different
Rolling like
holiday.
that.
Well, yeah, they need like HJ and 3-piece meal day next.
Your fingers are greasy already. Go for it.
Andy in a 3-piece.
Yeah, Yeah, that's got to be as good as BJ and the steak
February
day.
29th.
Gotta give me a date.
Well,
Give me a
yeah.
date.
Oh man.
Oh my.
All right, we're going to go back to Oregon with this next news story.
So time out.
Oh, okay.
You're obviously from Ohio, by the way you say that, but I do have a friend who is from that state who takes a lot of offense at people saying Oregon, because
Okay.
people who live there are adamant that it is called Oregon.
Oregon.
Racist son of a gun.
That's an O.
Right.
So, I don't, apparently they're pronouncing it wrong.
I tend to agree. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the
See, I don't live in,
district
I don't
that we
live
have
in
here?
Ohio.
Ohio.
It's not Ohio.
Ohio.
It's Ohio.
Right.
Well, I guess that wouldn't be Oregon. That's how I'm going to pronounce it now. Oregon.
Yeah, if we put an E on the end of it, then it would be Oregon.
It's Oregon with an O without the E at the end of it, Dan. It's not an
All I'm
I or an
doing-
E. It's an O.
All I'm doing is enlightening you.
My
to
name
the
isn't
plight
Din.
of the Oregonians.
My name is Don, not Din. There's no E at the end of it.
So if there were an E, your name would be pronounced Din?
No, it'd be done.
Right.
If there was an E instead of an O. Kind of like if it was Oregon, Gen, it would be Oregon.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
And we're
Get
in a
it,
standoff.
it's Oregon.
Hey, I didn't know possum was opossum. For
Flammable
real.
is also inflammable.
Huh?
Flammable is also inflammable.
That's crazy.
Okay.
I didn't.
Phew.
Relevant is irrelevant, which is a horrible word.
Yeah,
Thank-
but it's
thank you,
completely
Dan.
irrelevant. An Oregon woman accused of drugging kids at her daycare so she could go to the tanning bed and work out was sentenced to 21 years and 4 months in prison on Friday. January Neatherland
That's her name?
that's her name.
Oh,
Oh,
Here
here
we
we
go.
go.
Gonna make fun of
Here
her
we
name
go.
now?
Here we go. Now who are you going to say you hate?
Yeah, now I'm monthist. January Neatherland was sentenced Friday after pleading guilty in February to 11 counts of first-degree criminal mistreatment and 1 count of third-degree assault. The Oregonian reported. You got a problem with that one, too? There's the Oregonian.
No, that's how you say it.
Right, exactly. Oregon. The 32-year-old was arrested last year after police found 7 young children unattended at her unlicensed daycare, Little Giggles. Little Giggles, where she's drugging all the kids. According to authorities, Neatherland drugged the children with sleeping aid melatonin before leaving the facility to tan and work out. So
I mean, I can understand it. You got to get tan.
well, exactly. Yes, you.
I'm blown away by the white
Melatonin
girl
was her
tonight.
answer?
Yeah. What's that?
Melatonin was the answer?
Melatonin was the answer. Yeah.
There are so many
That's weak.
roofies out there.
I carry this
Yeah.
around just in case I need to get somebody down. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There are
exactly.
many other solutions out there that
Yeah.
are much more powerful.
Mucinex.
So, do you have
Dayquil,
luck
NyQuil.
luring people to your van with Mucinex? Or?
Oh yeah, I don't have to lure them.
Oh, okay. You just
Yeah.
knock them out with it.
That's right.
Okay.
Where you parked at?
Over by the Starbucks.
There you
Perfect.
go.
Kill
I'm
two
sure
birds
that's
with one
where you-
stone.
Yep, I'm sure that's where you parked at too. We're going to do one more. We're going to do one more news story since we have a part Irishman in here. A blind Irish runner broke her second Guinness World Record by running 81.09 miles on a treadmill in the span of 12 hours. The record-keeping organization said Sinead Kane, who, am I pronouncing that right, Dean? Sorry. Who previously ran 7 marathons in 7 days to become the first blind female to complete a marathon on each continent, is headed to the record books a second time after she ran the 81 miles in 12 hours at a treadmill at the Clayton Hotel Gym in Ireland.
So what world record did she set?
She ran 81.09 miles on a treadmill in 12 hours.
And that's in what book?
The Guinness Book.
Guinness.
Guinness.
Because she's Irish and obviously a drunk. Is that what you're saying? Is
That's
that
what they're
done.
saying.
So now black,
I knew you were
Irish,
going to
and
spin it.
Italian.
No, mostly just
This
the
is
Irish.
ridiculous.
Good job. I don't know how you looped all that around. That was impressive.
Man, that's funny. That's funny.
So she ran a marathon on a treadmill?
She ran 81 miles on a treadmill. Her that's her second Guinness World Record. Her first was not for drinking. It was for running for being the first blind woman to run a marathon on 7 continents. That was her first Guinness Book of Records record.
On a treadmill
Which is
or
far
running,
more
running?
impressive.
Well, the
because
marathon was actually, she ran the marathons, running. So I'm guessing with a hand out front.
What's that, the CNI dog? Or
Yeah,
the-
there you go.
Beat
So
the hell out of
the
people
dog
with
should be in the record too. Yeah, that's how she won the marathon. She just took all the rest of them out.
running a marathon, we're overlooking this, on 7 continents means she's run one on Antarctica.
That's what it said. Yeah, that's what. Yep.
That's
Let's see.
impressive.
Let's see. They ran 7 marathons in 7 days to become the first blind female to complete a marathon on each continent.
Yeah.
Huh.
So apparently there is a marathon you can run in Antarctica.
I wonder if she did that on a treadmill too. Like went into one of the stations they have down there.
How would she know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's probably not quite as
Not
cold.
as cold as I thought.
Right.
Didn't expected it to be a little chillier.
Man.
It's full of it.
Oh, that's
The ice caps really are melting.
yeah, wow. Global warming is a thing.
Yeah,
I
what a
guess.
joke.
Man. I think on that note, it's about time we wrap up because I can only be attacked so many times in one day.
I'm sorry I failed
Thank
you.
you, Dan.
They still got to go home.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, I still got
You
to
still
go
have
to
to talk
work.
to your wife
Oh, yeah,
about
that's
steak
true.
and BJ Day. We'll see how you get attacked after that.
Yeah. I'd be better off just doing my own handy and 3-piece. I think I'm where I'm at this
You can
point.
celebrate that every day of the year.
Exactly. It's the gift that keeps giving. All right. Well, Dan Dean, thanks for coming in. I'm glad you came all the way back from Kuwait to do my show.
Yeah, man. Thanks for
That's
having me.
He's got to catch a flight and get out of here now.
yeah. You got to catch a flight, get back to work. Keith, always a pleasure. We'll see you later on this evening.
About 8 hours.
Yeah, you better go home and get some sleep.
You think I ain't?
Oh yeah. And Rance, even though you did a terrible job as co-host,
Thank you.
still good to have you in the
Anytime.
studio. And
I'll try harder next time.
Keep pushing that Starbucks. Eventually, they might become popular.
You are going to freak out one day when you see like me doing a commercial for Starbucks. Like, that son of a gun pulled it off.
I did it.
How did he do it?
All right. On that note, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week. We should have Lori Graves in here, and maybe I'll hear something about Gabriel Iglesias. We'll see if we can get him on. You never know. Stranger things have happened. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. Thanks for listening to the Life Podcast. Check us out on Eventide Entertainment's Podcast Network. Remember, if you want to listen live, we're on Wednesdays from noon to 2 p.m. on WWSU 106.9 FM, or you can always stream the show live at WWSU1069.org. If you have suggestions or comments for the show, feel free to email us at thelife1069@gmail.com.
Presence overwhelms me. The brutal presence overwhelms me.
2 words. No boobs.